Hey, it's Coach of Tactical Hyve out here on the range on St. Paddy's Day. And I'm here when we talk about doing things simultaneously. Everybody wants to go faster, but going fast is not really, going fast. It's doing the least amount of movements necessary, economy of motion, and if you can stack them up. So what I mean by that is by putting things together in a simultaneous fashion. So we'll start with just the presentation from High Ready. So I'm all lined up here in High Ready. So when I first start this out, I want to make sure that I get the right spot on my cheek. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to just place this on my cheek where I can. So I'm going to come in and just drag it back into my shoulder. I don't want to drag it out here because then I got to move my head over. So I want to make sure that our head stays up and neutral. I'm going to come up and the sight is even with my eye, but I can't see the sight just yet. All right. So I drag it back into my shoulder, then I'm gonna rock my head over until I can see the sight, and that's when I know I have them in the right spot. Now you do that enough, now you know about where your head needs to be. So now when I come up, as soon as it touches my cheek, I'm seeing the red dot. So now, when we go by the numbers, it's 1, I'm now seeing my red dot, and I'm pulling it into my shoulder, off safe, and then finger on the trigger. Okay, so that's by the numbers, and you have to start off that way. But now as we stack them, we're gonna come up here and we're just gonna punch out. As soon as this stock hits my cheek, I'm already looking for the sight, and my thumb sweeps the safety lever down, and my finger goes on the trigger and starts taking up slack. So from here, I'm coming here, I'm off safe, and ready to go. All right, so I've got my head in the right position, and as soon as this comes up, so I'm coming up, and as soon as I'm touching, I'm looking for that sight and just working this. Now, the temptation then is to go faster, but you don't really need to go faster, you just need to work on that simultaneous motion. So if this is simo, okay, and so's this. Now, go as slow as you need to be smooth, because the smoothness is what's going to make you fast and efficient, okay? You can go as fast as you want, but if you keep missing, you're not doing anybody any good. Okay, so just go as fast as you can move, just bring it up. Same time, safety. So you can say to yourself, safety finger sights or safety finger fire. Okay, and then, when you get used to that a little bit, then we can go to, let's just see what the time is. So we get the timer out. Okay, 1.1. Okay, so 1.1 seconds, I'm shooting a A-zone target at about 20 yards. Okay, so that wasn't fast, but it was smooth, and that's what we're looking for. And I only want you to go as fast as you can go smooth. If you're making hits, that's a good indicator. But if you feel like you're rushing, you are. It needs to be smooth, see the sight, and just do everything perfect, and you'll get shots on target the fastest way possible. So some common mistakes that we see are guys, they want to mount the gun on their shoulder first. Okay, in order to ensure the good sight placement, okay, you want it nice and high, bringing the sights to your eyes, not the other way around. So here's my good combat stance, my high ready position. I'm going to keep my head still, and all I'm doing, I'm driving this forward, driving that barrel forward, and just think about bringing this portion of the stock, the back of the stock needs to come up and hit you in the same spot on your face every time. Okay, so once you're there, then you can bring it back and settle in, and I'm going to rock my head over, and that's where I need to be. Okay, so now I'm going to keep my head there. And you'll get used to this after a while. You'll be able to go, okay, I know where everything needs to be. So as I come up, as soon as this touches my cheek, I'm seeing that sight. Okay? So this is from the high ready. Now notice I'm not starting here. Okay, I'm at a 45-degree angle, so I can effectively move amongst other guys without sweeping them with my muzzle. So once you achieve that, and you know where your shoulder placement has to be, it's going to your cheek first. Now, what we see a lot of guys, they come up, they put it on their cheek, and as they drag it back, they start looking for that sight, and their face actually pushes the gun out on their shoulder, so now they got to bend their head over like this. And this is not an effective way to move with your head all rocked over to one side. And this is why we do this. All right, so from here, I'm gonna punch out, and as soon as it hits my cheek, I'm seeing that sight, safety off, finger on the trigger, even before I settle this back into my shoulder, okay? So it's nice and smooth. Okay, and instead of going by the numbers, we stack the numbers on the timeline. So I'm doing things simultaneously, but you have to go slow initially to get it right. If you talk yourself through this, rather than going by numbers, if you have it like one key word, right? So ours is safety, finger, fire. So you know you're already mounting the gun. So as soon as it hits your cheek, it's safety, finger, and then I'm on my sights and I can fire. At first it's safety finger sights fire, and then just safety finger fire, because the sight becomes automatic, you're gonna find it. Everything has to be smooth and fluid though. So don't try and go fast, just nice and smooth, fluid. Punch it out, touch. Okay, from the low ready. Sometimes you use low ready. Your thumb lives on that safety. My head's still cocked in that, just slightly off of neutral. And as I sweep up, I'm pushing the safety down. I swing up. So I'm just swinging it up, and I'm safety finger fire right there. My head's already in that position. Come up. Nice and smooth. As always, if you like this content, like, subscribe, leave me some comments.